start another project here. Can't stop. I just purchased from a friend's estate some time ago here. KZ1000A. They started to convert it into, this is back in the day. They changed it over to an LTD style motorcycle because that was a cool thing to do when 16-inch wheels were happening and everything. However, although we changed the front fender, we retained the correct wheel. So we can put a KZ1000 fender on that's not short like this. We're gonna see we can come up with stock headlamp brackets and mount this back up with the headlight stays. See, I got the LTD style turn signal brackets on the handlebars, but I believe those are KZ1000A bars. If we come to this side of the motorcycle, you can see it's sat like in a damp building because the crash bars rusted, the shifter got rusty. They put an LTD chain guard on it with a LTD body job. I'm sure you could buy that stuff cheap back in the day. But the motorcycle only has 9,043 miles on it. It's got some kind of custom grips on it. I don't know who made them, but they're pretty cool. And then the sissy bar. We're gonna hear this thing run, and then we're gonna start to do a semi-custom restoration on it. Maybe we'll put stock pipes, stock gearbox. I don't know just yet, but we're definitely gonna get rid of the LTD stuff. So possibly I'll be marketing some of the stuff for the future, but we're just gonna build a KZ1000A out of it for right now. Now the throttle cables are still moving. The front brake and rear brake are seized, but all in all, we got something that's pretty cool here. So hope you like it, and we'll keep you posted on this project. This is going to be a good one.
Hi, I'm Kenny from Johnny's Vintage Motorcycles. I guess filling in for John while he's off doing who knows what. Anyway, we got this bike. It's a KZ1000A. What we found so far is pretty filthy oil, as you can see. Drain plug was doing its job. Not a lot of debris on it. Cleaned that off already, but we're happy with that. The plug's not gooned. The oil filter bolt, same thing. Typical stuff. Not hardly any debris in the clutch cavity, which we're happy about that as well. Got the clutch out of it, and we have one broken clutch plate. Somebody's obviously having fun with this bike. So we're gonna replace that, probably measure all these other ones, make sure they're in spec. We glass bead blast the steel plates to make sure the clutch is gonna hook up correctly. Under the point cover, sure is nice to see the point plate and all the screws that hold the adjustments. They're not all gooned up. Very nice to see that. Got the carbs off, if we can walk over here. Pretty filthy, sitting for I don't know how many years, probably 10 plus. Although all the floats move, I'm sure all the jets are clogged up. As you can see in the bowls, they're nasty too. So we're gonna take these apart, further apart, and throw them in the ultrasonic, get them cleaned up. Ignition switch, got to pull that out. We have a key, original Kawasaki key, but it does not match the numbers. Doesn't fit anything. All the locks on the bike are the same key number. So we're gonna have to send this off and have a key made. The only other thing I found so far that was bad is this is the connector that goes on the ground cable to the battery. And as you can see, I don't know if you can get in there or not, it goes on there. And taking the battery out, this just fell off. Kind of interesting. Anyway, that's what we're doing now. Putting new plugs in it. Carbs will be rebuilt. Fresh oil and filter, the clutch will be back together, and we're going to get this bike running. Thanks for tuning in.
Okay, we're getting ready to fire up Wilson's bike here. Wilson was an old buddy of ours, and anyway, we're trying to get this whole thing running. See what it sounds like. Of course, we gotta fix the engine cases on stuff. We're gonna replace the engine cases on it. But everything looks like in pretty good shape. So we cleaned the carburetors, new spark plugs, went through the clutch as shown. So got just a regular jumper battery in it. So this should be pretty good. Okay, here we go.
See if it got spark.
We're gonna see if it's got spark to begin with.
Okay.
Nope. No spark. Try it again.
Yep. Probably just dirty points.
No spark. So we're going to have to go through the points so we can get her fired up, and we'll try her again. Always got to clean the points and stuff. Funny, usually we're just trying to kind of hurry up, get this running for the end of the day, but we'll see what's happening here. Okay, the moment of truth is here. As you can see, you got a bunch of debris and dust coming off the motor and everything. It stinks. It's probably been years since it's been run. Well, it's got historical tags, so I don't know how long it's been, but I guarantee it's been. But it's a shame. We just got to take it apart because if you look on the other side of the motor here, you can see where the case has been welded right here. I think we're going to replace the cases and throw all new gaskets in it and everything and make it a nice, decent piece to start out with. And then we'll go from there. This is a very nice header. The header sounds good. I don't know if it's leaking or not, but we're going to build a really nice everyday rider KZ1000 out of it. Okay, well, thanks for looking, and we'll continue the quest. Thanks. Maiden voyage here. We've had it running, so now we're going to see if it shifts. This thing runs good. I only got it in second gear, but I only got front brake only. But I think it runs good. Good motor. Okay.
Tell us what your hat says.
Make motorcycles great again.
Woo!
Okay, and here's Kenny putting new springs on a set of shocks. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Got the nice tool for that.
This is nice.
Nice little setup. So when we get the ugly springs and stuff, we can take them off, and we have some springs that have been re-chromed. So here's Kenny putting it together. I love it. Okay, so here's our 77 KZ1000A. We're kind of just putting the chassis together. We're going to put the correct headlamp brackets on and everything, but we're just kind of getting it together for right now. And as you can see, we spray bombed the frame, put a better springs on the rear. So it's looking pretty good. If you come to this side, you'll see where we're getting ready to put a powder coated battery box on it. And it's nice. This stuff makes a difference when you put it together. So we painted the swing arm, got replated studs here, replated axle nut for the swing arm, and we cleaned up the inner fender and everything. So this is going to be the bike. Hopefully we'll have this done next week. If there's any interest out here, we're certainly interested in selling it. Let us know, and we're gonna powder coat. We're gonna put powder coated parts back on because we have all the stuff in stock already. And then we're gonna replate all the stuff. The bike's set, and you can see the condensation that came with it. So right now we've cleaned the front wheel up a little bit. We've put new drain screws in it. We're gonna replace all this stuff here with our replated stuff, but we just kind of wanted to get it together and to show what it's like. We also put a full front fender on it when it had the LTD fender on it. It's got new fork seals, new boots, and clean up the bracket a little bit. And here's the rear wheel. We're gonna probably put new hardware and stuff on this, but the rear wheel wasn't looking too good, so we cleaned it up a little bit. Now it's not show perfect, but we got the majority of the grit and grime off of it. So we're gonna be running a stock 18-inch wheel. So here's our wheel, and we're gonna be putting a new kind of tire on this also. And we're gonna replace stuff like this here. I got a key made for it, so I want it to have the matching key number on the seat lock as well as the ignition. And these are the replated nuts we were talking about. See how grody the old ones are. So we're gonna be using those. And here's our new handlebar bolts that are gonna go in it. And then we're gonna just go over all the stuff here. We're gonna clean up what we can, and what we can't clean up, we're gonna replace with replated stuff. I have a genuine factory seat getting recovered for the bike right now. So we're making pretty good progress on it, so I hope you guys like our bike. Okay, this is our Project Wilson here. This is a 77 KZ1000A. We're starting to get it together here. Frame's nice, the shocks, rear brake caliper, everything's been rebuilt. So we kind of wanted to show you where we're at with it. It's got the new Kenda tires on it. All the replated stuff that we normally do. We've got we have some replated springs on it. Here's our replated hardware here. Replated swing arm bolt. Now we wound up taking we had to put a different swing arm on it, because when we got the swing arm, it had an LTD chain guard on it. So what happened here was someone had taken this tab right here, knocked it off, and put two steel brackets right here coming down, and they welded another bracket here, but it had grounded off here. So we had to come up with another swing arm, and also we found out that the KZ1077 model took one bearing on the inside of the swing arm, and 77 and up that we know of took two bearings. Now, of course, I'm just talking about like 78 to 80, because we don't really do much after 1980, but I believe 77 and possibly up to 80 was the two bearings on each side. And also that swing arm had a different width right here where you see right here. They had a different width according to the Kawasaki Microfiche. It was this distance right here. We learn something every day when we work on these things. Okay, thanks. As you can see, we have our normal routine. We have the plated stuff. Chain's nice. Get your Kenda tires, the shocks. So we got the rear fender on and stuff. It's all looking pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. Now, we didn't do a real good cleanup on these parts, so a nice detail will go a long way. We do have the replated bracket here, and the shocks look good, and we do have a recovered seat. This is an original KZ1000 pan, and this is a reproduction KZ1000 seat cover. So this is pretty correct stuff here now. So we're gonna have this on there, like so. Now, when we were doing the motor, it was a leak in oil coming out of the front. So we're replacing the O-ring here and the head gasket, so we're gonna doing some work there. Now also, I wanna also point out that there's some I think there's a little bit of very minor welding here. As you can see right here, I don't know, well, maybe it's not welding, and maybe there's a little bit of welding. Looks like someone has done some dress up here, but it did not leak out of any of this area. So I just want to bring that to your attention. It's not as perfect as the other side, but we have the motor is going to be ready to go here, and we should have this done here in the next couple of days. We've got the headlamp brackets on it. We've got the gorgeous meters. Everything's looking pretty good. So we just kind of wanted to show you where we're at with it, and we are proceeding. Okay, here's Wilson's bike. We've got some more work done to it. As you can see, we've cleaned up the front end a little bit, put some replated stuff on it, put some new drain screws in it with the gaskets, new dust covers, new fork seals. If you remember right, it was set up like an LTD, so we've now put the KZ1000A headlamp brackets on it. We've also put a gas tank just to fit it on to see what we're going to look like, because it came with an LTD tank. So now we've got this tank on here. So I've sent side panels and a tail section out to get professionally repainted. Now we have we had an oil leak between the cylinder head, so we're replacing the O-ring that goes in here. It was seeping out kind of bad. We've had the clutch apart. We're getting ready to go through the timing and everything one more time. We've replaced all these screws. All the screws here. We still need to replace the screws here at the kicker cover because they're Allen's. And we painted the footrests. We had some for a Z1, but in KZ900, but they're different. This is the first year not to have the web going across. They had a web support. Got a gorgeous brake pedal on it. This is all replated. This is all replated. This is replated. Rebuilt master cylinder and caliper. This is all redone. And as you can see, this is an all replated rod, replated bolt here, replated spring. The shocks have been replated. This is all looking pretty good. It's all starting to fill in here. So once we get the new paint job for it, I think it'll look pretty good. We still need to put a battery in it and everything, but keep in mind this motorcycle only had 9,000 miles on it. So this is a pretty good one. I don't know where we're going to go with the grips and stuff, but as you notice, 1977 had the internal wiring here that went inside. So all the wiring is inside the handlebars. So this is actually looking pretty good. We got the wiring harness is gorgeous. We put a stock chain guard on it today. It's got all the wiring over here is really, really nice. So it's all coming together pretty nice. And we're going to offer this for sale. All the replated bolts and everything, a new clutch cable. So this is actually looking pretty good. Underneath here is our cylinder head. Nice cylinder head. This bike ran good when we took it apart. It was just leaking oil. So we're kind of moving along pretty good here. Now I want to show you what this is going to kind of look like. This is the seat cover that we had done. So I don't have the hinges on it yet, but we will. So this is going to be our baby here. This is going to kind of look like we're still going to need to clean it up a little bit more, and we're going to get it fired up probably tomorrow when we put the Kirker header on it, if that's what we're going to do. I'm not sure, but all in all, this is really coming along pretty good. I think this will be a cool bike, and if there's any interest out there, let us know. Okay, we're making some more time here with the Wilson's bike. We're just about ready for the paint. I sent as we can see, this is the tank we're going to use. We're going to polish this out a little bit. We're going to put nice emblems on it in the tank. It has been lined, and it looks like they did a pretty good job of it. We'll put this on and see how it runs. We're going to run a fuel filter on it also, just in case. Sometimes I like lining them, sometimes I don't. Some people really like it. So anyway, we're going to put that tank on. I've got the body parts out getting painted right now for it. So basically the bike's about done. We're going to put some air cleaners on it. We had a header laying around, so we got the header on it. All the brakes are hooked up. Got a grab bar for it. Everything is working. So all in all, we got a pretty clean piece here. We're got a few more things here and there to put on it. And
battery hold down.
we're gonna put a battery hold down on it.
New maintenance-free battery.
It does have, yeah, as Kenny's saying, it's got a new maintenance-free battery. And we're gonna do something with the breather. We're gonna probably run a hose out of the back of it to the back of the bike. And anything else, Kenny, that we got going on here?
That's about it. No, we'll be running later today.
Okay, well, we just wanted to show you the progress. This is a very clean bike. This could be restored. Could be a really nice everyday rider. We're looking forward to this running pretty good. If you come over here underneath, here's what we got going on under the seat. We have a maintenance-free battery in there. We're going to put the new bracket like Kenny was talking about right here to hold it down. Someone had welded these hinges, the hinge brackets back on, and I just now noticed we don't have the catch bar for this like 76 should have. Or, I'm sorry, 77, 78 should have. I'm going to look into that. I don't know if we'll fix that or not, but it's something that could be done. Got the right hooks in here and everything, so just wanted to show you everything that's done here. So we're not representing this as a restored bike. However, this would be a nice economical bike to get started in a vintage Kawasaki, and something you can probably ride it for a while as is. Or this could be a good one to restore. I'm leaning more towards just making a nice little hot rod out of it and having some fun with it. We kind of built it out of a lot of parts we had laying around. We got Wilson's bike about done. We're going to take it for an initial ride up and down the driveway. A little bit wet out, but it'll still be okay. And we haven't salted our driveway ring, so it's okay. But it's like in November, and it's kind of not been a good month. So Kenny's got this just about all done. We've got, obviously we're waiting, the painter is going to be dropping us off the side covers and tail section any time now, so we'll have some more final photos. So this is the initial run right here. Clutch pulled in. Everything works. Motor sounds good. Doesn't seem to be smoking or anything. This motor's got 9,000 miles on it. It's a good motor. Kenny's gonna give it a test run. see a young guy like that ride a bike with no jacket on in the wintertime.
Nice. You can ride it?
I'll try it one time.
Slippery down there. Woohoo! Woo!
And we finally finished up Project Wilson. Wilson was an old buddy of ours, and this was his bike through the day. So anyway, we showed the transition of all the parts and everything. We had a bike sitting for about 3 months, and it had a little seeping puddle oil about like this or so. So we wound up replacing the engine cases on it. We just didn't need a Kawasaki that leaked. So we're gonna start it up for you and show you everything about it. My goal before it sells is I want to put 100 miles on it so I can, if it's got like a leaking gasket or something, I can fix it before we sell it. I don't know sometimes on these older bikes, since it's like 30 years old already, 40 years old, you kind of got to keep on top of them, and when you first put them together, sometimes you'll find a loose bolt or maybe something. Not really that often, but sometimes you do. Okay, the bike's a little bit warm. I'm going to put the fuel cock on reserve, pull on the clutch. There's no smoke. The motor really sounds good. Let it warm up a little bit and ride it. But not bad. Like I said, we're going to ride it and fine-tune it as we ride it, as long as it doesn't rain. Ride it and see where we're at. So hey, good luck bidding on it. This is a good bike. 9,050 miles on the motor. Gauges are nice. Everything seems to work. Still got the coating on the clutch cable. The grips are growing on me. They're pretty cool. They're called Grand Touring. They're not really bad, but I haven't rode them a lot. Tons of new hardware, genuine bars. The wiring goes through the handlebar as it did in '77. I mean, this is a solid piece. Lots and lots of new bolts. New Kenda tires. Front fender is a little gooned here. Got some marks. Lower legs could be polished out. The spokes are pretty good. The motor shifts. Clutch is good. Got the original fuel valve on it. The seat's been recovered. Powder coated pan. The gas tank has been lined. It looks like they did a pretty good job. Got like the individual air filters on it. Just tons of replated stuff. I had the tank already painted. It was one of my buddy's old tanks. Passed away a while back, but it's pretty cool. I had the tail section painted, and the side covers were painted to match the tank in black. These are held on with an adhesive from JB Weld. After you come to the other side, there's one extra hole here in the side cover. Oh, and the guy painted them. He didn't fill these in, but I didn't tell him to, so it is what it is. Shocks are pretty cool. It's got a really cool pipe. This is a very nice bracket setup right here. Got the nice spacer, everything. The foot pegs are nice. Nice front brake pedal. The motor is genuine finish. It's never been bead blasted or polished or anything. It's the way it came. We painted the frame. Got the nice mounts, everything. The hook, the spring. It's clean. This would be a great bike to ride every day, or back and forth to work or whatever, or be a good bike to restore if you ever desire to do that. Nice gauges, nice headlamp brackets, nice fork tubes, complete brake job. Runs great. And we have low-cost shipping available to vintage flat track races or Ohio area races as we travel quite frequently to that stuff. I hope it goes a good home. Thanks.